Dennis Peacock with another news brief from the Transforum. Today I want to talk about fascism on the left. Well, there's a hot button. Whoever controls language controls culture. A lot of the really wise political strategists are very much aware of that fact. Now, as some of you know, I had my own journey on the left. There's the old statement, if you're not a socialist when you're young, and if you're still one by the time you're 30, you have no head. If you're not a socialist when you're young, you have no heart. Well, apparently I had a heart. Hopefully I have a head. But I was an academic Marxist, certainly was never a communist. That's a whole different distinction. But I'm very familiar with Marxist theology, and I'm very familiar with Saul Alinsky, who was Mr. Obama's mentor. Well, he was indirectly one of my mentors in the 60s in Berkeley. He's the one that really defined a lot of the political tactics that have been used by the left the last 30 plus years. Well, the interesting thing, and again, having been a Marxist and studied Lenin and Stalin and the revolution, the Marxists are undoubtedly the most capable political strategists I've ever seen, rivaled only by the homosexual community here in the last 10, 15 years, which in many ways studied the left tactics. Now, Lenin was a political genius, and basically what they did when they took power in the late teens is they defined their rivals as their arch enemies and made them appear as if they were a totally opposed philosophical group. The truth of the matter is all the socialists were socialists. But the Leninists called the other rival socialist groups fascists, and therefore pulled the greatest political spin political history's probably ever seen. Now, Lenin was a smart guy. He took charity away from the private sector so that the state would get credit. By the way, whoever serves leads, whoever serves has the loyalty of the people, and Lenin understood that. He took all power and all control towards the state so as to gain the allegiance of the people. The children belonged to the state. Education belonged to the state. Labor unions belonged to the state. The production facilities belonged to the state. The whole argument has always been about the role of statism versus individual freedom. The rival is not communism versus fascism or fascism versus socialism. It's statism versus individual liberty. Fascist really is just another word for socialist. It has historically always been that way. And the great political spin is to separate it. Are you still being brainwashed by the word fascist? Hey, let's have a debate around this stuff, folks. History tells us the truth, and all I want to say is let's engage.